Maria Montessori's method is taught in 35,000 schools across the globe today. Presidents attended Montessori schools. So did Jeff Bezos, Larry Page, Sergey Brin. The founders of Google learned to learn the way Maria Montessori taught them to. She changed how every child on earth understands knowledge, curiosity, and the right to direct their own mind. But there is one child whose story she was never allowed to tell. Her own. His name was Mario. He was born in 1898. He was her son. And for years, while she was becoming the most famous educator in the world, she could not tell anyone he existed. The woman who gave the world a method for raising free children spent years unable to claim her own. This is not the story they teach you in education courses. This is the one they left out. Chiaravalle, Italy, 1870. Maria Montessori was born into an Italy that had very clear ideas about what women were for. Her father was a civil servant, respectable, conservative, a man who believed in the proper order of things. The proper order of things in 1870 Italy meant that daughters became wives. Maria Montessori decided she wanted to study medicine, not nursing, not midwifery, medicine itself, the full degree, the same examination as the men. Her father was opposed, the medical establishment was opposed, Italy in the 1890s was opposed. She enrolled anyway. Male students refused to share lecture halls with her for certain subjects. The proximity of a woman to a male cadaver was considered, by the standard of the era, improper. So she dissected alone, at night, after the male students had finished and gone home, in an empty laboratory by lamplight, working through the same material they had covered in groups, surrounded by company and conversation. She dissected cadavers alone at night because she was not allowed to do it any other way. And she kept going. In 1896, Maria Montessori graduated, one of the first women in Italy to hold a degree in medicine. She had earned it in rooms where she was not supposed to be, at hours when no one else was present, against the resistance of every institution that was supposed to help her get there. Her early career took her to Rome's psychiatric clinics, to wards where children had been classified as ineducable. This word deserves a moment. It meant not capable of learning, not worth the investment of a teacher's time. These were children who had been failed by every system that was supposed to help them, and then locked away so the failure could be forgotten. Maria Montessori looked at these children and saw something the establishment had not bothered to look for. She saw that they were not ineducable. They were uneducated, understimulated, surrounded by empty walls and nothing to do with their hands or their minds. She began working with them directly, with materials she developed herself. These children, the ineducable ones, the ones the system had given up on, passed the same public examinations as children from Rome's regular schools. Maria Montessori asked a question nobody was prepared for. If these children can do this, what does that say about what we have been doing to the other ones? She didn't invent a school. She invented a philosophy of human dignity. 1907, Rome, the San Lorenzo neighborhood, one of the most dangerous, most overcrowded, most neglected neighborhood in the city. Families of 6 and 8 and 10 people in single rooms. Children running the streets because there was nowhere else for them to go. The building owners of one tenement block asked Maria Montessori to do something with the children. She opened a room. She called it the Casa dei Bambini, the children's house. She was 36 years old. What she did inside that room was not what anyone expected. She did not lecture, she watched. She watched what the children chose to do when given real choices. She watched how long a child would concentrate on a task that genuinely interested them, and the answer consistently was much longer than any adult had assumed. She gave them materials that were self-correcting, objects where the child could tell without a teacher whether they had done it right or wrong. She gave them freedom of movement, freedom to choose their own work, freedom to make mistakes without shame. Within a year, the results were being discussed across Europe. Within 10 years, she was the most talked about educator in the world. She was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize 3 times because the committee understood what she understood, that the way a society educates its children is a question about what kind of human beings it is trying to produce, and whether those human beings will be capable of peace or only of obedience. And then I need to go back. Back to 1898, before the Casa dei Bambini, before the global movement, before the Nobel nominations and the 35,000 schools. Back to the thing that was happening in Maria Montessori's private life, while her professional life was being built in public. His name was Mario. His father was a colleague, a fellow physician, a man she loved. The relationship ended, and it ended with Maria Montessori pregnant, unmarried, and facing a choice that was not really a choice at all. In 1898, Italy, an unmarried mother could not practice medicine, could not maintain the credibility she had spent years building in rooms she was not supposed to occupy. She could have the career or she could have the child publicly. She could not have both. Mario was given to a wet nurse in the countryside. He was raised away from her. He did not know for years that the woman who visited him was his mother. She could not tell him, she could not tell anyone. I want to stay here for a moment. Because this was not a footnote. This was the central wound of her life. The woman who believed with every part of her professional self that every child deserved to be seen, valued, trusted, and free, could not see her own child without the visit being a secret. In her 30s, quietly, she reclaimed him. Mario came to live with her. He became her closest collaborator, traveling with her for the rest of her life, running the movement alongside her. The secret had served its purpose and done its damage, and now it was, in the privacy of their relationship, set aside, but never publicly acknowledged, not in her lifetime. And then came Mussolini. In the 1920s and early 1930s, the fascist government was, improbably, enthusiastic about Montessori schools. For a moment, it looked as if the movement and the regime might coexist. It was not a moment she trusted. In 1934, the coexistence ended. Mussolini demanded that Montessori schools teach fascist ideology, that the children be turned into instruments of the state's vision of obedience. She refused. Every Montessori school in Italy was shut down overnight. She left Italy. She went to Spain. The Spanish Civil War broke out. She went to England. The Second World War was beginning. She went to India, age 69. Then, because she was an Italian national in British-controlled India, she was interned. She was 70 years old, interned in India, and she was, according to every account of this period, still working, still writing, still training teachers in whatever space they gave her. Fascists shut her schools. A world war imprisoned her. She outlasted both. I am not going to resolve her complexity for you. She was extraordinary. She was also human. Both things are true. History rarely gives us people who are only one thing, and the ones who changed the most are almost always the ones who contain the most contradiction. When the war ended, she went back to Europe. She rebuilt the movement from the rubble of what fascism and war had done to it. She was in her late 70s. She kept going. Maria Montessori died on May 6, 1952, in the Netherlands. She was 81 years old. Her last words reportedly were, "Am I in the way?" For a woman who had spent her entire life being told she was in the way, in the lecture halls, in the clinics, in the political systems that shut her schools and interned her body, to ask that question at the end of it seems almost unbearably human. As if the habit of apologizing for her presence had outlasted everything else. 35,000 schools, 110 countries, a method that survived fascism, World War, and a century of educational fashion. Her face was on the Italian 1,000-lire banknote for decades. The country that had made her dissect cadavers alone at night, that had forced her to hide her son, that had shut her schools and driven her into exile, eventually quietly put her face on its money. As apologies go, it was inadequate. As acknowledgements go, it was something. Mario Montessori survived his mother by 20 years. He continued the work. He ran the movement for decades after her death. The son she could not acknowledge became the person who made sure the world did not forget her. She once said, "The child is both a hope and a promise for mankind." She believed this completely, with the conviction of someone who had seen what a child could become when the world got out of the way. She spent 81 years getting the world out of the way. And she spent those same 81 years navigating a world that would not get out of the way of her. Both things at the same time, her entire life. The woman who gave the world a method for raising free children spent years unable to claim her own. What does that say about the world she was trying to change? Tell me in the comments, because I have been sitting with that question since I started researching this video, and I do not think it has a clean answer, which is exactly where Maria Montessori would have wanted it. If this story moved you, share it with a parent, a teacher, anyone who has ever cared about how a child learns, because the method is in 35,000 schools, but the story behind it is almost nowhere. And the story is the part that matters. I'm Irene, and I'll see you in the next one.